Oh, baby, baby.
Yeah, What's up, rebels? My name is Willy.
My name is Leo.
I'm from the UK.
I'm from the US.
I'm Cis.
I'm Dreads.
We are a couple. We are queer. And we out here.
So, babe.
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 What are we doing today, babe?
Oh no, babe.
Nah, what are we doing today, babe?
Okay, today we are doing another round of Unpopular Opinions. LGBTQIA+ edition. So following along from our last video, we heard that you guys like it, so we were like, alright, we'll do it again. Do you know?
Do it again.
We'll do it again. We're like performing monkeys. You guys are like, do it. And we're like, let's just get into it because we don't want to do this whole long thing. Oh, by the way, he's bald.
Oh, yeah, if you didn't see the last video, I'm a bald boy now.
Go check out our last video to find out how that happened. It's everything.
Go watch my Britney moment, please.
Hashtag free Britney.
Oh, baby, baby.
Okay, let's get into it. Should I go for number one?
Yeah, go
Alright,
it.
let's do it. Okay. They are taking over. There'll be no straights left.
Is that supposed to be a bad thing?
Please hear us out.
Gay agenda.
Gay agenda. Also, I hate that one. It's like, obviously there are going to be straight people left, or who the f*** is having us? There's more visibility, there's more commercial visibility, whether it's performative or not is another question.
The big scary rainbow is coming to get ya. No one's getting rid of straight people. We're just trying to say that they're not the only people that we want to see everywhere. Sorry, you're not the favorite. Sorry, you gotta share. You're not the only child anymore. There are other siblings that you need to share the spotlight with.
It's giving that. It's giving only child syndrome.
It really is.
Sorry, straight kid, mummy's pregnant, and the other kid is...
Let's get sexy!
Alright, let's move on to another one, right?
Unpopular opinion. Not supporting LGBT does not mean hating them.
True. I think that's true. Look, hear me out, right? Hear me out. Hear me out. I would rather someone say to me, like, you know, it's just sort of something I support. I don't believe in it. Like, I don't know why it would be something you have to believe in. Like, I don't agree with the terminologies that they would use to justify their reasons. But if that is what they use to justify those reasons, and it doesn't affect my life, and they're not trying to kill me, they're not going to anti this, anti that, if they're not online trying to get me cancelled or trying to get my social footprint, my physical footprint, all of that erased, I don't care what you think about me. I don't know you.
I think the key thing is, like you said, like, as long as you're not doing anything that's hurting people, then you can think whatever you want to think. Like, if you were going around being like, I hate people with shaved heads, and you're here looking at me, you're fine. I don't care if you don't like my head, but don't, A, go onto the internet and harass bald people. B, don't try to get legislature involved to eradicate bald-headedness. Like, just mind your business and grow your hair.
Ding, 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 ding.
This is an interesting one.
Okay.
It's a bit juicy, and I want to hear your thoughts first. I think that cishet people who used to be extremely homophobic but are allies now do not deserve to have their past used against them.
Okay. Ooh.
And I want to just emphasize that they did use the word extremely homophobic.
Okay.
So I feel like, without getting too into it, they do mean sort of that, like, heightened level of not ignorance, but homophobia.
Okay. In my response, I can only speak... Camera is here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In my response, I can only speak for myself. And in regards to myself, I believe that growth, change is possible for everyone. I truly do believe that. I think if someone has done the work and they have actively tried to unlearn behaviors or, you know, and become an ally, I don't really... It's difficult, because if we're saying extreme and we're talking like someone who's coming out of prison who's killed a bunch of like LGBTQ plus people, and now they're like, okay, I've seen the light in prison. You know, the prison pastor came to me and we prayed and God said, this is why you were here and now you must go out and spread the word of the gays. And so if that person suddenly comes out, I would understand everyone's hatred towards that person. I would understand that and it would be justified because something bad has happened. But just how I'm personally built, I don't have capacity for hate longevity on hate. I don't have that. I think it affects me more when I'm that angry towards someone. It's something that I carry, and so I don't have the energy to use the past against you. I'm just trying to live myself in the future. Like I cancel culture and all those things, that things suddenly come up and I don't have the energy for it. Like, if you're not that person now, then that's all I can take you on face value. If you're going to be a good person, you've committed to being a good person, then that's what I'm going to try and take you on.
Yeah, it's sort of one of those things where if you are doing actively better and, like, trying to right your wrongs, like, say in that scenario of the guy who, let's say, like, you know, queer people, it'd be one thing. It's very different if, like, maybe he just comes out of prison and he's like, I'm a super ally and I want to go to Pride and, like, show that I love you guys.
Don't know all that, mate.
Yeah, I'd be like, maybe stay at home. Maybe
watch it on Zoom.
Yeah. You can like the Instagram posts. That's cool. You can share the Insta stories. That would be something that would be uncomfortable. But if he came out and he was like, okay, I want to actually better, like, show the change that I've made internally while I've been incarcerated. I want to put that out into the world and sort of right your wrongs in that way of trying to balance out the scales of, if you did something really horrible, the best way to show that you are not in line with that is to balance it out by doing better to combat it, or to, you know, if he did something like, if he created some form of, like, outreach for people, or a safe haven for people of homophobic violence, victims of homophobic violence,
or even became someone who actively went out there to speak to homophobes.
Exactly.
If he
like,
became that segue person of, listen, I felt like you did, I went to prison for it, and I there is a possibility that we are just uncultured, we are just ignorant, and I can help you. Like, there are ways that people can revamp themselves, and I think if we don't allow people to, not religiously but, like, repent, then what's to stop them continuing to be worse? Like, there needs to be grace. I don't know, nobody is above fucking up in the world, and I just don't have, I'm just not perfect enough to not extend forgiveness.
Get it to me.
All right. Pansexual isn't real. So apparently I'm just not real. Apparently I don't exist. Apparently, like, I'm just Leo.
Babe. Willy juice.
So yeah, pansexual, very real.
Just, it's such a bold statement. You're just bold and wrong. You know? Like, it's like saying, like, trees don't exist. Or, like, clouds don't exist. Like, just because you aren't touching a cloud, or you don't know what it feels like to touch a cloud, doesn't mean that birds don't know what it's like to touch clouds. So, if you don't know what it's like to be pansexual, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist and it doesn't happen for others.
Period. I'm gonna let my man talk up for me. I'm not even gonna say nothing. He handled that.
This one is a really juicy one, and I think it's gonna create a big debate, but we're gonna get into it. Unpopular opinion. I don't like the LGBT movement.
Work. It's cool. It's fine. Don't like us. It's chill.
You're living your truth.
Listen, I'm your ally. I respect your right to not like me.
I fully respect homophobes' right to not like us, because I'll tell you a secret. We don't like you either.
Can I get a hiya? So, this one. People aren't...
You have to... Every time you try to read them.
Okay. People aren't homophobic. You're just weird. How is that not everything? Because hear me out. Valid.
You know what? I think a lot of, like, queer people would also agree with this. Like, that's the real tea. Like, bitches, I know you're in the group chats right now. I know what's going on. I know the tea in our community. I know how we are. Sometimes you're just a bit weird.
That's the thing. You know what I find hilarious about this? I find hilarious that there is someone out there, because some people, and I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna be on the straight side of the argument. Oh. Hear me out, right? There are some queer people, listen, just hear me out. There are some queer people, right, who are like, terrible. They are just terrible to be around, and that's just the truth. And it's not because they're queer that they're terrible. They're actually terrible because they're terrible. And so
they're just annoying people.
Yeah, they're just annoying, and so people are reacting to their annoyance, not to their queerness. And to make that process easier, sometimes it's because I'm gay. It must be because I'm gay. It can't be because I go around stealing people's pennies. Like, no, it can't be because of my little stamp collection of people's hearts. Like, it couldn't possibly be because I collect toenails. Like, it's because I'm gay. Like, I totally get this perspective, and to be honest with you, I agree with it.
There's a reason why we coined the term Queerdos. We are queer weirdos. Like, sorry, it's just a fact. Like, some people, some of us.
I'm the biggest weirdo I know.
Yeah, we're saying this. We are also weirdos.
Yeah, the
like,
person I named was actually me. So if anybody out there has toenails that I can collect, please just send it to me. Unpopular opinion. Show tunes suck. Who am I? And Beyonce is overhyped. Ooh.
Okay, I feel like this is a two-part opinion. Obviously, we got two things going on here. So first of all, let's break down the first one. Show tunes suck.
So
you want to speak on that, babe?
For those of you who don't know, I run a business called Musical Theatre Aves. I run the UK's largest musical theatre forum as well. I work in the West End. I'm very musical theatre-y. I've been doing that for 11 years of my life. But hear me out. Someone thinking show tunes suck doesn't offend me. Let's kill the dream. A lot of things that I think suck. And because my ears were accustomed to show tunes. So if you have a genre that you're into, show tunes probably would suck if it was like the opposite. If you're into like heavy metal, can you imagine going from heavy metal, like just, and specifically like in heavy metal because of pace, because of beat, because of chaos, and then go into fucking Les Mis? Like, oh my god, I'd hate Les Mis too. So like, doesn't offend me. It doesn't offend me at all. And I'll move you over to Beyonce's overhyped. I'm not even in the, to pop culture word. I'm so
Listen,
musical theatre, so I can't.
I just want to say, this is no tea, no shade, no hate.
Okay, he's about to get cancelled. Let's go.
Do not come for me.
Come for him.
Don't. I know you're right. Okay, don't fight me, okay? This is just my thoughts. I don't have an issue with Beyonce at all. She's great. She's an icon, and I love her. I do have an issue.
I thought it was going to be a but.
I do have an issue with super idolization of celebrities and musicians in similar ways that Beyonce can be idolized. The whole, like, there's a difference between being like, I love this person and she's amazing and she's super talented and I give her props and her flowers every single day. There's a difference between that, which is good, versus taking it to another level of, no one else is better than her. There is no one else who can come close. And also, if you do not like this person or you speak in any way negatively of like, even like, oh, I'm not super into her music. There are people who get so upset by it that it's just a bit like, can you calm down? I'm not trying to like say that I want to like cancel her or like erase her from your music library. You can listen to Beyonce if someone doesn't like a song.
King, like,
yeah, like
Queen Bee, we're good.
And we know the thing is like someone not necessarily vibing with Beyonce does not mean that she is any less of a queen.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like,
I think what you're speaking to is toxic fan culture.
Yes.
Yeah, so Beyonce isn't technically responsible for that. No. She's barely on social media.
Yeah,
she like puts a post out a day. Twitter, she barely follows people. So in saying like Beyonce is overrated because her fans are toxic, I don't agree with that.
No, yeah, and that's why I was trying to make that distinction of like, I don't have an issue with Beyonce at all whatsoever. She's an amazing and talented woman. and she's an icon. Like, let's be real. But sometimes the fan culture is just a bit too much, where it's like, oh, this is actually a little bit like intense and scary, and like I just like music and dancing. This is fun, and I just wanted to have fun. Why
also,
are we fighting
Beyonce's
people?
lit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a Beyonce
lit.
fan, but the songs that I do, I say I'm not a Beyonce fan as in, I just listen to musicals. But if Beyonce's on, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
What's your favourite Beyonce? Like, mine's gonna be so old because I don't listen to Beyonce anymore.
Okay, there's one of the newer ones that I like. I'm sorry, I don't know names of songs. The one that's in like playing in all the gay clubs. You know what I'm talking about? The like.
No.
Wait, it's in the. You don't fuck up the night. Yeah, that one. I love that song. I don't know the name of it, but I vibe with it so hard.
And have a dance. This is how like away from pop culture we are. So get used to our content.
Yeah, this is your granddad and other granddad watching, trying to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
So.
And for those of you who might be going, other granddad, her pronouns are she, they. I feel way more affirmed with mask compliments. So if you think I'm pretty, thank you very much. It's thank you. If you think I'm handsome, that also makes me feel very happy. So I don't care. I don't think compliments should be gendered. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. That's not about me.
I'm gonna read the next one.
Focus back.
Oh, look at me. Minors without dysphoria should not be taking hormones.
Minors without well, why would they be taking hormones if they don't have dysphoria?
Minus
visual learners.
Yeah.
minus
dysphoria equals no transition.
Yeah.
Is that not equal? Like, is that not correct math?
Yeah.
Is the math not mathing?
Oh, are they saying that there are some minors who are taking testosterone? No, because you're a minor. Happening. It would be a hormone blocker.
Yeah, literally. And also, I feel like this person is just speaking ignorantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they're just trying to say, like, trans kids don't exist. But they do. Dysphoria is something that, like, affects people in a multitude of ways. So, like, maybe this person is trying to say that there's only one way to have dysphoria, or you need to have a certain level. Because I know that there are a lot of... Transmedicalists will often say...
What's that guy's name? We're going to have to... You know what?
Oh my god, that guy.
Listen, kids, I'm coming with a tea. Now that this channel is very Leo and Willy, which we'll discuss at some point as well, there's different angles that I personally will be taking, whilst very much still being a supportive member of this, because she's a busy gal. Just to clear some things up, if you are new, you're not trans, you're not anything, you're not queer, you're not there, and you just come on here and you're like, wait, hold up, what's going on there with the kids? Trans kids, children cannot take testosterone, they cannot take estrogen, they can take hormone blockers, and what this does is prevent those hormones from happening, the puberty from happening. It just slows it down so they can have a little bit more time to think about whether they want to go through the irreversible changes.
It's basically the way that I tend to think of it, and it's more complex than this. This is a simplification, but think of it as a bit of a pause button of being able to medically be like, okay, we're gonna do this safely and make sure that you're okay and that this doesn't mess up any future development, but we can hit a little bit of a pause or a little bit of an extension and just give you a little bit of time to figure things out before we make any like big decisions that are life altering. So kids are not getting hormones.
And I think it's really weird because some people are even against kids having hormone blockers. There are people who say, you know, the effects of hormone blockers can be things like delayed things if you decide to continue with the gender assigned at birth, and they can say things like, you know, you'll have a micro penis because you've stopped your penis growing, you've stopped those years. Like, there's those of different scaremongering things. Some of the things putting out there, I want to be clear, are connected to truth, and so go do your own research. But to be very, very clear, hormone blockers are just a pause button. Just to be very clear, cis people go on hormone blockers too. Sometimes cis children have puberty that starts way too early for their body to actually deal with. There are kids who start periods at 7 years old. And so they have to be assigned puberty blockers to allow them to have a childhood, and then they stop their puberty blockers at, you know, 12 or 13 when their body is ready for that, when they're mentally ready for that. So don't pretend this is a whole trans agenda thing when this is happening to cis kids too. Like, just don't do that, honey.
Literally. Like, just because you didn't know this was a thing until it was talked about because of trans people doesn't mean that it's not okay and that it isn't medically safe and administered by professionals in the medical field. Like, you don't know anything, Karen. Just shut up and get off Facebook.
You too, Bill. So this is someone who follows me on Instagram. I don't know who they are, and I don't know if they quite understood what I was like trying to do out of it when I said unpopular opinions, and they just ended up just leaving a really lovely comment instead, and we really appreciate that. So I think that's a nice way to end this video. Like, we've got a lot of unpopular opinions, a lot of bants, a lot of jokes, but let's end on this kind little message. I don't really care what your identity, sexuality is personally. I just care about who you are. And I just love that. I was like, this wasn't what you know, like, you don't always get what you want. If you try sometimes, you'll find you get what you need. I think I needed that. And so it was really sweet. And if anyone else needed that as well, that's there for you. So thank you so much for watching our videos. We love you guys so much.
Love you. And just remember, you are you no matter what anyone else says. And you are valid, and you are here with us. We are here with you. And it's okay, and you're gonna be okay. All right,
if you're struggling, and especially struggling like individually or even like in a relationship or anything like that, and you watch us and you're like, this sounds like a nice fun couple to like watch, and we're super glad that we can provide that for you. We just want to let you guys know that we're here for you, and in the comments you let us know that you're here for us, and it's really, really nice. Thank you. Please do keep commenting and leaving your positivity. Please. It's like we see it and we go, ah, and then we get super excited and get encouraged to do more. So it means a lot when you send love and subscribe, and you know, it just means so much to us.
Yeah, we genuinely, like, I want you to know, every time you leave a comment, one of us looks at our like notifications and we're like, new comment.
Love you. Please don't forget to subscribe. Look out for our next videos coming out. The next one will actually be 3 months on tea, which Leo currently is already.
Coming, okay.
Stay healthy. Eat your roots, drink your water, and remember, your aunt and uncle love you.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.